Sophia escapes Bayview, kidnaps baby Trey in a shocking rampage. Bayview Psychiatric Hospital was never quiet, not truly. Even on its calmest nights, the building breathed. Air vents whispered secrets. Doors sighed with old regrets. Somewhere down the hall, a patient laughed too long at a private joke, while a nurse's shoes tapped out the rhythm of routine. Order lived here, enforced by locks and schedules and medication carts. But chaos had been waiting. Sophia Choi stood perfectly still in her room, eyes fixed on the narrow window reinforced with steel mesh. Moonlight filtered through in pale stripes, cutting across the floor like prison bars. She had learned long ago that stillness was a weapon. When you didn't move, people stopped seeing you. When you stopped reacting, they assumed you were healed. That was the lie Bayview had accepted. For weeks, Sophia had played the part, compliant, quiet, remorseful. She attended group therapy. She took her meds. She cried on cue when the doctors asked about guilt. She spoke of regret and responsibility and recovery. The word progress appeared in her chart more than once. None of them noticed the way she memorized guard rotations. None of them saw how carefully she studied the nurses' habits. None of them understood that Sophia was not healing. She was preparing. Because tonight, Bayview would lose her. And Salem would pay the price. The shift change happened at 11:47 p.m. Sophia knew because she had counted it every night for 10 days straight. The veteran night orderly, Marcus, always lingered too long at the nurse's station, complaining about his knees. The younger nurse, Alana, always checked her phone the moment she thought no one was watching. For exactly 3 minutes, the corridor outside Sophia's room was vulnerable. That was all she needed. Sophia pressed the call button, letting it beep once before releasing it. Then she waited, counting her breaths. 1, 2, 3. The door opened with a soft click. Alana stepped inside, clipboard tucked under her arm. Sophia? You okay? You rang. Sophia looked up slowly, eyes wide and unfocused. Her voice trembled just enough. I'm sorry. I thought I heard someone. I get scared at night. Alana sighed, the practiced sigh of someone stretched too thin. You're safe here. No one's coming. Sophia nodded, fingers twisting in the hem of her sleeve. Could you stay a minute? Compassion was the crack in the system. Alana stepped closer. That was when Sophia moved. She didn't attack with rage. She moved with precision, grabbing the clipboard, slamming it into Alana's wrist. The nurse cried out, pain exploding up her arm as the clipboard clattered to the floor. Before she could scream, Sophia shoved her backward, slamming the door shut. The struggle was brief, desperate, and quiet enough not to raise immediate alarms. When it ended, Alana was slumped against the wall, dazed but alive. Sophia stood over her, breathing hard, hands shaking, not from fear, but from adrenaline. I'm sorry, Sophia whispered. And for a fleeting moment, it almost sounded real. She took the keycard. The first alarm went off 2 minutes later. Bayview erupted into controlled panic, lights flashing, doors locking, security scrambling. But Sophia was already moving, barefoot and fast, slipping through service corridors she had memoized from stolen glances at evacuation maps. A guard rounded the corner. Sophia froze. For a heartbeat, they stared at each other in disbelief. Hey! The guard shouted, reaching for his radio. Sophia grabbed the nearest object, a metal cart left unattended, and shoved it hard. The cart slammed into the guard's legs, sending him crashing to the floor. He cursed, pain flaring, as Sophia bolted past him. Blood streaked her hands, not from him, but from a gash she hadn't noticed on her own palm. She pressed it against her hospital gown as she ran, leaving red fingerprints along the wall. The symbolism was not lost on her. Bayview was bleeding now. She reached the emergency exit just as the lockdown sealed the main doors. The alarm wailed louder, echoing into the night as she burst into the rain-soaked parking lot. Freedom tasted like ozone and wet asphalt. Sophia disappeared into the darkness. By morning, the news spread like wildfire. In Salem, phones buzzed with alerts. At the police station, Rafe Hernandez stared at the file in disbelief. Sophia Choi, he muttered. You've got to be kidding me. Jada Hunter leaned over his shoulder, eyes narrowing as she scanned the report. She was committed for a reason. If she's out. She's not just out, Rafe said grimly. She's focused. They both knew what that meant. Sophia didn't act randomly. She didn't lash out without purpose. Everything she did was tied to obsession, to perceived injustice, to the twisted belief that the world owed her something. And that something had a name. Baby Trey. Across town, in a quiet house filled with soft blankets and baby toys, Ava Vitali jolted awake. She didn't know why at first. There was no sound, no cry, no crash. Just a sudden, crushing sense of dread that wrapped around her chest and squeezed. She was out of bed in seconds, heart racing, moving down the hallway toward the nursery. "Trey," she whispered. The room was still. The nightlight cast a gentle glow over the crib. Ava exhaled shakily, until she saw it. The window was open. Her breath caught in her throat. She ran to the crib. Empty. The scream that tore from her chest was raw and animal, ripping through the quiet house like glass shattering. No, 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 no. She grabbed the baby monitor, hands shaking, scanning the footage. The last recorded image froze her blood, a shadowed figure at the window, pale face turning briefly toward the camera. Eyes wild. Eyes familiar. Sophia. Sophia held Trey close as she fled through the back streets of Salem, rain plastering her hair to her face. The baby whimpered softly, sensing danger but too young to understand it. "It's okay," Sophia murmured, rocking him as she moved. "I've got you. They won't hurt you anymore." In her fractured mind, this wasn't kidnapping. It was rescue. She ducked into an abandoned building near the docks, a place she remembered from another life, another scheme. The room smelled of dust and old wood, but it was dry, hidden, safe enough for now. Sophia collapsed against the wall, sliding down until she was sitting on the floor, cradling Trey against her chest. Tears streamed down her face, mixing with rain and blood. "I tried to be good," she whispered to the empty room. "I tried to let go. But they took everything from me." She looked down at the baby, eyes softening. "They won't take you." By sunrise, Salem was in lockdown. Police cruisers lined the streets. Officers knocked on doors. Helicopters circled overhead. Ava sat wrapped in a blanket at the police station, face pale, eyes hollow. Rafe crouched in front of her. "We're going to find him. I promise." Ava shook her head, tears spilling freely. "She's sick. She's dangerous. What if she hurts him?" Jada stepped in gently. "Sophia wants leverage. She wants attention. That means Trey is still alive." Ava clung to that word like a lifeline. Alive. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Sarah Horton stared at the security footage, her hands shaking. "She escaped Bayview," she whispered. "How did we miss this?" "Because monsters don't always look like monsters," Sarah thought bitterly. "Sometimes, they look like patients who learned how to smile." As night fell again, Sophia listened to sirens in the distance. The net was tightening. She knew it. She wasn't stupid. She kissed Trey's forehead, breathing in his baby-soft scent. For a moment, doubt flickered across her face. "What if I can't keep you safe?" she whispered. The question haunted her. Footsteps echoed outside. Flashlights cut through the dark. Sophia's eyes hardened. She stood, clutching the baby, backing toward the rear exit. She wasn't done yet. Not by a long shot. Because Sophia Choi didn't believe in surrender. And Salem was about to learn just how far she was willing to go. Will Sophia escape Salem with baby Trey, or will the walls finally close in? Can Ava survive the unthinkable, or will this loss destroy her forever? And when obsession meets desperation, who will pay the ultimate price? One thing is certain.